Hello everyone, I'm here with Penelope. We are about an hour north of Mazatlan. Penelope and her husband operate a regenerative farm. A lot of chickens on hand too we're going to talk about, but we're just going to walk and talk here a little bit. Penelope, thank you for doing this.
Well, thank you for inviting me.
Yes, so tell us about regenerative farming and what you're doing here.
So the traditional way of farming is to just till up the soil, plant something, take herbicides, kill anything that wants to grow, and then over-fertilize with chemical fertilizers. What we do here is we let the soil grow what we want it to grow, and it's the three premises of regenerative agriculture are that you always have a root in the ground, even if it's a weed, and you have a diversity of grass or pasture or whatever you're growing, and then you move your animals constantly so that they are constantly naturally fertilizing your land, and then not eating all the grass all the way down to nothing and destroying it. So as we move the animals daily or every other day, they're contained by electric fencing and they're protected by livestock guardian animals. In our case, we have dogs, and from there, everything just kind of works together. And the premise is soil health. So we don't destroy the soil at all. We encourage the soil to rebuild itself and encourage the insects and the worms and everything else to hold the soil together.
How much land do you have here?
In total, we have 88 acres.
And I saw EV on the sign. I asked you what that meant. What is that?
So that stands for En Sueño Verde, which is the name of our farm, which in Spanish basically means green dreams. And so that's what we have. We're green. When you drive down the highway, as before the rains come, we will be the only green that you will see.
All right, very good. I know you can talk about this for hours. That's a good introduction, and I'm going to have some more questions for you here in just a minute. Okay, Penelope, here we are with some of the chickens. So just tell us about how you raise them here.
So how we raise the chickens is that we have cows, which we move the cows in front of the chickens. All the chickens are contained by electric netting and protected by a white Pyrenean mountain dog. And behind us, you can see the egg mobiles. And the egg mobiles are structures which are pulled every other day by the tractor, and we move them across the pasture. And the chickens at night roost on the roosting bars, and then they poop underneath the roosting bars. And then when we move it, obviously the natural fertilizer is in there. On the edge of each egg mobile, there is a nesting boxes, and on the far side is the feed and waterers. And everything is gravity fed, and we try to minimize moving anything across the fields except the tractors and the ATVs which pick up the eggs. And so everything is self-contained here with water and feed in one space. Okay, so these are how the egg mobiles work. There are the roosting bars, and over here you can see the nesting boxes where the chicken's inside. And different types of chickens lay different colored eggs. So the eggs are laid, they roll down to keep them clean, and then they are picked up every 3 times a day, and then they're stored. And then this is our white Pyrenean mountain dog. His name is Paula, and he protects the chickens from predators. And they're also contained in this electric fencing, which gets moved. And so the chickens are aware of the electric fencing, keeps the predators out, and then along with Paula, they're completely safe. And you can see that they're free range. Obviously, they're in the grass doing their chicken thing. So here we are with the cows, and the purpose of the cows is to naturally fertilize the ground. And so we got the cows just literally to poop and improve our soil health. And then what happens is we move the cows in front of the chickens, and they're also contained by electric fencing. They don't need any livestock guardian animals because the bull takes care of the cows, but they just eat grass. You can see in this pasture there's a variety of different grass. We call it salad bar beef, and so they eat whatever they want, and that's what cows naturally do. And so they are extraordinarily healthy. The calves are born really strong, and we have a we have so far a 0 mortality rate on the calves, and they don't need any help. So the purpose of the cows is really just to poop and to keep the soil health going. So when a cow poops, there's a large cow patty, and then the chickens come along after them and they scratch in the cow poop, and then the cow poop naturally gets put into the ground. The worms and the insects come and decompose it, and so it's a completely natural cycle.
All right, Penelope, tell us about your eggs.
Okay, so here are our eggs. This is how they go to market. We have multicolored eggs, and different types of chickens lay different types of eggs, different colored eggs. And so we primarily have green and blue and these dark brown eggs, which come from parent stock that comes from the Czech Republic. We import them as day-old chicks. We raise them here, and then we put them in the pasture. And then they lay these colored eggs. The regular brown eggs are from parent stock that comes from the United States. We get them from Iowa, and they come FedEx on a plane, and then we raise them here to the point where they lay in the pasture like you already saw. And so just as an aside, we don't grade our eggs by size. Sometimes we have really large ones like this one, which will have a double yolk in it, versus a very small one, which has, there you can see the difference in size. These double yolkers happen because a chicken, when she's first laying and she has to regulate the yolk comes down the canal, and then it usually comes by a shell. If she hasn't got the regulation on the shell right, then the double yolk, or the second yolk, will form behind the first one, and then it will all be covered in a shell. So if you have a double yolk egg, it's coming from a young chicken. And alternatively, they also lay very small eggs. The eggs, which are very, very small or cracked, because sometimes they're cracked, like this one, we sell at a discount we call them our economical eggs, and we sell them in the rural communities. They don't go to the stores where our primary eggs go, because we want to give the rural communities and the small villages equal chance to be able to eat healthy food.
Well, Penelope, a question I think a lot of people might have is, there's so many confusing choices out there in picking eggs. How do you know that you're getting a good egg? And then tell us where we can find your eggs.
Okay, so how you know you're going to get a good egg is when you crack it into the pan and the yolk sits in the white, and the white is viscous and thick. That is a freshly laid egg. As soon as the white starts to disintegrate in your pan and spread out, the further it spreads out, the older the egg. And so our eggs are fresh, laid daily, and we take them from the pasture raised, and we bring them and sort them and package them, and they go to our stores literally they're delivered Mondays and Thursdays, and they are within 2 or 3 days of being laid. So if you buy from any of our retail stores, then they will be literally 2 or 3 days from being laid. So you know that they are totally fresh.
Thank you, Penelope.
So what we do is we grind our own corn and our own soy, and we mix all of our own food. So it's ground here twice a week. So all our feed is completely fresh, and it's mixed in this big mixer where you can see the guys are mixing. And it's mixed in this big mixer, and then we sack it. And we sack it according to the needs of each individual type of flock. So our brand new day-old chicks have different feed to the feed which is being used for the chickens laying fertilized eggs, and different feed for the ones which are in the field, in the pasture. But because we control the feed, we know exactly what they're getting, and we also know that our feed is completely fresh, because literally this corn was delivered on Saturday, and now it's already been ground up.